This is a short but extremely steep little hill to climb. Do I tell Steve how I got to here, or shall I let him walk in the bog? Dreamy sort of look of the heat haze and that's going on. Prepared for the weekend with me, are you?
Well, after that walk up that hill, probably not.
As you can see by the brow on my head, I've already got a sweat on. It's really warm. The temperature's changed this week. I put my shorts on for work and my car said 27 degrees when I got in it after work. But we had a nice little plan sorted for this weekend, heading into North Wales. And at the moment, I'm trying to make my way up one of the steepest, shortest walks I've ever done. I did it with Gareth Danks a few months ago, and stupid enough, I'm doing it again. But I'm not alone. Steep. I'm not alone at all today. I'll show you where the people are when I get to the top of this steep bit, because we've got to get up there. And like I say, this is a short but steep little hill to climb. Oh, right, we're nearly at the sty. And like I say, this is a short but extremely steep little hill to climb. At least we stuck to the path this time, rather than wandering across the field. And yeah, it's going to take a few minutes for the other guys to catch up. But you know what I'm like. When I get my head down, I nuzzle in and I get it done. And then I'll have a breather while everyone catches up. You all right? Oh, what a view. So I'm up at the first stile, just waiting for the other two to catch up, because that is a very short hill, but it's extremely steep. And if you're not used to, you know, a little bit of pounding on your legs, it's quite hard. But I'm quite shocked. I can't remember when I was last here with Gareth. Was it last year or this year, beginning of this year? I can't remember. I think it was beginning of this year, January time. And the sun it's set way over to the left of Snowdon, way over to the left. Now I know the sun rises and sets in different places at different times of the year, but I'm astounded by the difference where the sun is now. The sun's going to set way over that way, sort of going over Llanberis way, or even Ogwyn direction. It's a completely different direction. So it does pay to have your sort of wits about you and your senses about you to work out things. You know, if I'd come here to get the sun dropping over Snowdon, I'd have been really upset, because it's not. It's still going to be a nice evening. It's still going to be quite nice. It's extremely warm and quite muggy, but yeah, I'm gobsmacked how different the sun is in the position. So I thought I'd just switch you on and just let you know. So just a little bit of a word of warning if you're coming up this direction, that round this stile is still extremely boggy. Now we have had some rain and we haven't had the driest of beginning of the year, but we've had some dry weather, so I thought it might have been a bit drier than this. But the bog is at least 6 inches deep, maybe a bit more. So very precariously placing your feet so as not to get stuck in it. I'm in a dilemma. Do I tell Steve how I got to here, or shall I let him walk in the bog? I would ask you guys to let me know in the comments, but I better tell him how I got to the steps, and I really. Right, so I think Martha found that one. Right, so on that little stone there, that pebble, yeah, and then foot over here on this edge here, and then on this tuft, that one's still solid. Yeah. Yeah, or that one next to it's solid. Yeah, and then this tuft, and then you can reach that stone and then up here. Otherwise, because I just put my stick in that and it goes all the way down. So yeah, it does actually, the tuft doesn't move. Oh, but the step moves. The step moves, yeah, so it's a bit sticky and boggy there. I think before the sun dips down behind them mountains, I want a quick picture of the wall, and it's just trying to get a bit of side light on the wall. So I'm just making my way up the rocks and over this wall, and I'm just going to have a little look on these slopes just here to see if I can just get myself in a position to get myself a shot before the light goes down with a side light on the wall. which was quite nice, leading down into Snowdon. So I'm going to start here. Steve's going to have a look down there. Now Steve, he's a very new vlogger. I'll get his name of his channel in a moment and I'll put it along the bottom of the screen. And I'll introduce you to him as well. He's a very, very new vlogger. Started off he took 6 months off of work. Give up work for 6 months. Went off in his van. How cool is that? And that's where I saw him. And so yeah, it's cool being out with someone new. So I'm going to quickly get a shot of this. You can see the sun's going down over there. So bear with me a minute. I'll just want to get a shot. So I've got the camera set up and the light is going down very, very fast. So yeah, I think I've already got the shot. It's just basically a line leading down. There's no colour in the sky in the background. Snowdon's very, very plain. There's no clouds. There's no anything going on over there. But we are getting that little bit of a dreamy sort of look of the heat haze and that's going on. But the wall's nice. The wall's lovely. And I think I've got a little bit of colour on it before the sun is starting to drop. The sun is going now though, which is a bit of a shame. It's gone down in that position, but I still think it's going to be nice. It's a good walk out anyway. It's nice to be here. So I'm at a dilemma whether I actually like this shot or not. The sun's now gone down behind the hills. It's over in the Llyn way. It's gone over that direction, so it's dropping over the back of Anglesey, which is where I was last week actually, last weekend. So I should have known it was going over there. Yeah, this is one of those shots where it looks really nice, but it doesn't look too good on the back of the camera. But what it is doing, I've got this wall, obviously I've gone horizontal now, so I've got the wall leading you right through the image. So it starts off on the bottom right hand corner, leading across the frame, and you get to Llyn or Montbri, however you pronounce the lake, and then it goes off to the Snowdon Mountains on the left, and then the light's over on the right, so the sky's a lot brighter and hueier, if that's such a word, over on the Llyn Valley. It looks okay. It's almost like it starts off sort of quite dark and hard in the bottom. I'm obviously going to bring that up with the exposures, and then softens off into the background. You get in, there is a haze, a heat haze or something going on in the background. It is softening off, and I quite like it, but I don't know whether it's too far away from the foreground for it to work. So I'll have a play with this image at home. I'll have a little tinker with it. I may do something a bit fancy with it, over edit it, under edit it, or something. I don't know. I'll put it up on the screen. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. Is it worth a shot? Isn't it worth a shot? You know what I'm like. I'm out and about. I'm out with two new people I've never met before. So we're going to have new conversations and chats this evening. So I don't really care whether I get a shot or not. But I brought you along for the fun, really. So yeah, let's see what happens. That sun's still above the horizon. So once that gets below the horizon, this sky might change colours and go a little bit more pinky and huey. So yeah, let's see what happens. Huey, Chewy, Dewey and Louie. Yeah, definitely Huey, Dewey and Louie. What's he on about? He's a weirdo, this one. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We may even get the longer lens out, see if there's something there, but I don't think there is. If it ends up that we don't do a lot more now, I'll bring you back in the morning. Let's introduce you to this man. Before we carry on any further. And we're going to fight with the pocket now, the Osmo, because it seems to always look at me and nowhere else.
It goes for the good looking one.
Introduce your channel. That's the best thing to do. That's the first thing to do. What camera are you using as well?
I have a Nikon Z7 II.
We won't introduce you to him. Right, so...
Roaming photography.
Roaming photography, isn't it?
That's it.
Roaming photography, yeah. Roaming photography, like I said before as we were walking up, he's a new channel. Do check him out. He's a bit quirky. He's got a little bit of swagger about him.
Panache.
So, is that what you call it? Panache. Yeah, but no, it's good to meet someone new. So you're prepared for the weekend with me, are you?
Well, after that walk up that hill, probably not.
No, that was quite short.
He did promise me Sherpas, mind, that bring me up the hill.
Didn't you get yours?
No, they didn't come in the post.
For God's sake. Right, he didn't get his Sherpa. I'll have to have a word with the mail order. But yeah, and we've got another one down there. Andy's down there. He hasn't made it up the hill. Bless him. He hasn't got that far yet. Even I didn't realise it was as steep as that. I forgot how steep it was. I've got a mouthful of macaroon chocolate biscuit. Yummy. So okay, so the light's gone down a little bit, it's gone a lot flatter. There's no actual sort of light and contrast as such. We've still got that fade off. But I'm now using this time as a bit of a recce, looking for these rocks. I've got biscuits flying around. I'm looking at the rocks, looking at the formations up on the top. It actually creeps up onto the top now. And some of them look quite interesting. I've got a vertical shot set up with like a diagonal in it. And it's got a bit of a lead in. So from the bottom of the image, it sort of leads you into the image. So you've got these nice little rocks, and there is a little cluster of heather on the edge of the hill. So come August sort of time, when again the light's in a different place and that heather's sort of got purple and pink sort of flowers on it, that could look quite pretty in the sort of bottom of the image. And then your eye floats back through the image, and your mid area's got another sort of like a rocky outcrop, which also needs exploring. Maybe even tomorrow, maybe have a look at it tomorrow morning, I don't know yet. And then you've got the lakes, which I call Crimpiau, and then beyond that, in the far distance, you've got Snowdon and the Snowdon Bowl. So yeah, there's lots of layers through the image, lots of different points for the image. Nowhere for your eye really to settle, but I'm going to take it as a record shot, and I'm going to do a manual bracket because the dynamic range is quite hard on it. Even though the camera should handle it, I'm just going to make sure I've got those 3 different shots that's going to help. So I've got me low exposure to keep the sky in, I've got my high exposure to keep all the shadow detail in, and then I've got my mid-tone exposure if I need it to blend, to help blending them together. So that's it, 3 shots done. So a little look around. Right, so I'm just working on another shot at the moment. Very difficult to get it to work up here because the boulders seem to dominate the foreground and stop your eye going through, but I think I've got it in such a way where I've got something that's going on. This one I'm going to have to bracket and focus stack because I've come down really low because I like the really bright green lichens on the rocks I've got in the foreground in front of me, and I've got one right down on the edge of the frame which I'm not sure about, but I think it's okay. It's sort of anchoring the bottom of the image a little bit. But then I've got this dominant one that I'm focused on the lower thirds. Then I've got a boulder on the upper thirds, and that boulder's quite big and it sort of takes quite a lot of priority in the image. But I think because it's round and it's blending in with the mountains in the background, I think it works. But I've got to focus stack it. Even at f8 on this Fuji, it's not giving me enough focal distance, or because I'm right up close. I'm about 2 foot away from the front of the camera from the first image, so the background mountains are way out of focus, and I think they need to be in focus for this. I think it's all about the textures going through the image. Would it be better with some more light on it? Probably, but I'm trying to sort of find an image to make it worth being stood up here, if you like. And again, if nothing else, it's a recce, and I could come back and think, well, this might work really nice with a little bit more side light. Maybe we were an hour earlier, stuff like that. So yeah, I think this would be quite nice because I like those greens on the rocks. Let me know what you think about that rock on the right hand side. You'll see it when I put it up on the screen now. The rock on the right hand side, top right corner, is it too dominant in the image? Does it take away from the mountains in the background? Because the mountains on a wide angle lens, obviously they're going to look quite small, but I like it, and I suppose that's all that matters really.